What Wikipedia is not. Wikipedia is not a paper encyclopedia. Wikipedia is not a paper encyclopedia, but a digital encyclopedia project. Other than verifiability and the other points presented on this page, there is no practical limit to the number of topics Wikipedia can cover or the total amount of content. However, there is an important distinction between what can be done and what should be done, which is covered under encyclopedic content below. Consequently, this policy is not a free pass for inclusion. Articles must abide by the appropriate content policies, particularly those covered in the 5 pillars. Keeping articles to a reasonable size is important for Wikipedia's accessibility, especially for dial-up and mobile browser readers, since it directly affects page download time. Splitting long articles and leaving adequate summaries is a natural part of growth for a topic. Some topics are covered by print encyclopedias only in short, static articles, but Wikipedia can include more information, provide more external links, and update more quickly. Information should not be included in this encyclopedia solely because it is true or useful. A Wikipedia article should not be a complete exposition of all possible details, but a summary of accepted knowledge regarding its subject. Verifiable and source statements should be treated with appropriate weight. Although there are debates about the encyclopedic merits of several classes of entries, consensus is that the following are good examples of what Wikipedia is not. The examples under each section are not intended to be exhaustive. Wikipedia is not a dictionary. Wikipedia is not a dictionary, or usage or jargon guide. For a wiki that is a dictionary, visit our sister project Wiktionary. Dictionary definitions should be transkeyed there. Wikipedia articles are not. 1. Definitions. Articles should begin with a good definition or description, but articles that contain nothing more than a definition should be expanded with additional encyclopedic content. If they cannot be expanded beyond a definition, Wikipedia is not the place for them. In some cases, the definition of a word may be an encyclopedic subject, such as the definition of planet. 2. Dictionary entries. Encyclopedia articles are about a person, or a group, a concept, a place, a thing, an event, etc. In some cases, a word or phrase itself may be an encyclopedic subject, such as Macedonia, terminology, or truthiness. However, articles rarely, if ever, contain more than one distinct definition or usage of the article's title. Articles about the cultural or mathematical significance of individual numbers are also acceptable. 3. Usage, slang, or idiom guides. Descriptive articles about languages, dialects, or types of slang, such as Klingon language, Cockney, or Late, are desirable. Prescriptive guides for prospective speakers of such languages are not. For a wiki that is a collection of textbooks, visit our sister project Wikibooks. Prescriptive guides for prospective speakers of a language should be transkeyed there. Wikipedia is not a publisher of original thought. Wikipedia is not a place to publish your own thoughts and analyses or to publish new information. Per our policy on original research, please do not use Wikipedia for any of the following. 1. Primary original research, such as proposing theories and solutions, original ideas, defining terms, coining new words, etc. If you have completed primary research on a topic, your results should be published in other venues, such as peer-reviewed journals, other printed forms, open research, or respected online publications. Wikipedia can report your work after it is published and becomes part of accepted knowledge. However, citations of reliable sources are needed to demonstrate that material is verifiable, and not merely the editor's opinion. 2. Personal inventions. If your friend invented a drinking game, a new type of dance move, or even the word friendo, it is not notable enough to be given an article until multiple, independent, and reliable secondary sources report on it. And Wikipedia is certainly not for things made up one day. 3. Personal essays that state your particular feelings about a topic, rather than the opinions of experts. Although Wikipedia is supposed to compile human knowledge, it is not a vehicle to make personal opinions become part of such knowledge. In the unusual situation where the opinions of an individual are important enough to discuss, it is preferable to let other people write about them. Personal essays on Wikipedia-related topics are welcome in your user namespace or on the MetaWiki. 4. Discussion forums. Please try to stay on the task of creating an encyclopedia. You can chat with people about Wikipedia-related topics on their user talk pages, and should resolve problems with articles on the relevant talk pages, but please do not take discussion into articles. In addition, bear in mind that article talk pages exist solely to discuss how to improve articles. They are not for general discussion about the subject of the article, nor are they a help desk for obtaining instructions or technical assistance. Material unsuitable for talk pages may be subject to removal per the talk page guidelines. If you wish to ask a specific question on a topic, Wikipedia has a reference desk. Questions should be asked there rather than on talk pages. Wikipedia is not a soapbox or means of promotion. Wikipedia is not a soapbox, a battleground, or a vehicle for propaganda. Advertising and showcasing. This applies to usernames, articles, drafts, categories, files, talk page discussions, templates, and user pages. Therefore, content hosted in Wikipedia is not for 1. Advocacy, propaganda, or recruitment of any kind, commercial, political, scientific, religious, national, sports-related, or otherwise. An article can report objectively about such things, as long as an attempt is made to describe the topic from a neutral point of view. You might wish to start a blog or visit a forum if you want to convince people of the merits of your opinions. 2. Opinion pieces. Although some topics, particularly those concerning current affairs and politics, may stir passions and tempt people to climb soapboxes, Wikipedia is not the medium for this. Articles must be balanced to put entries, especially for current events, in a reasonable perspective, and represent a neutral point of view. Furthermore, Wikipedia authors should strive to write articles that will not quickly become obsolete. However, Wikipedia's sister project Wikinews allows commentaries on its articles. 3. Scandal mongering. Promoting things heard through the grapevine or gossiping. Articles and content about living people are required to meet an especially high standard, as they may otherwise be libelous or infringe the subject's right to privacy. Articles must not be written purely to attack the reputation of another person. 4. Self-promotion. It can be tempting to write about yourself or projects in which you have a strong personal involvement. However, remember that the standards for encyclopedic articles apply to such pages just like any other. This includes the requirement to maintain a neutral point of view, which can be difficult when writing about yourself or about projects close to you. Creating overly abundant links and references to autobiographical sources, such as your resume or curriculum vitae, is unacceptable. 5. Advertising, marketing or public relations. Information about companies and products must be written in an objective and unbiased style, free of puffery. All article topics must be verifiable with independent, third-party sources, so articles about very small garage bands or local companies are typically unacceptable. Wikipedia articles about a person, company or organization are not an extension of their website, press releases, or other social media marketing efforts. External links to commercial organizations are acceptable if they identify notable organizations which are the topic of the article. Wikipedia neither endorses organizations nor runs affiliate programs. Those promoting causes or events, or issuing public service announcements, even if non-commercial, should use a forum other than Wikipedia to do so. Contributors must disclose any payments they receive for editing Wikipedia. Non-disruptive statements of opinion on internal Wikipedia policies and guidelines may be made on user pages and within the Wikipedia namespace, as they are relevant to the current and future operation of the project. However, article talk pages should not be used by editors as platforms for their personal views on a subject. Wikipedia is not a mirror or repository of links, images, or media files. Wikipedia is neither a mirror nor a repository of links, images, or media files. Wikipedia articles are not merely collections of 1. External links or internet directories. There is nothing wrong with adding one or more useful content-relevant links to the external links section of an article. However, excessive lists can dwarf articles and detract from the purpose of Wikipedia. On articles about topics with many fan sites, for example, including a link to one major fan site may be appropriate. 2. Internal links, except for disambiguation pages when an article title is ambiguous, and for lists for browsing or to assist with article organization and navigation. For these, please follow relevant guidance at Wikipedia: Manual of Style Lists, Wikipedia: Standalone List, and Wikipedia: Manual of Style Embedded Lists. 3. Public domain or other source material such as entire books or source code, original historical documents, letters, laws, proclamations, and other source material that are useful only when presented with their original, unmodified wording. Complete copies of primary sources may go into Wikisource, but not on Wikipedia. Public domain resources such as the 1911 Encyclopedia Britannica may be used to add content to an article. See also Wikipedia:*do not include the full text of lengthy primary sources and Wikisource's inclusion policy. 4. Photographs or media files with no accompanying text. If you are interested in presenting a picture, please provide an encyclopedic context, or consider adding it to Wikimedia Commons. If a picture comes from a public domain source on a website, then consider adding it to Wikipedia:*images with missing articles or Wikipedia:*public domain image resources. Wikipedia is not a blog, web hosting service, social networking service, or memorial site. Wikipedia is not a social networking service like Facebook or Twitter. You may not host your own website, blog, wiki, resume, or cloud on Wikipedia. Wikipedia pages, including those in user space, are not 1. Personal web pages. Wikipedians have individual user pages, but they should be used primarily to present information relevant to work on the encyclopedia. Limited autobiographical information is allowed, but user pages do not serve as personal web pages, blogs, or repositories for large amounts of material relevant to collaborating on Wikipedia. If you want to post your resume or make a personal web page, please use one of the many free providers on the internet or any hosting included with your internet service provider. The focus of user pages should not be social networking or amusement, but rather providing a foundation for effective collaboration. Humorous pages that refer to Wikipedia in some way may be created in an appropriate namespace. Personal web pages are often speedily deleted. Wikipedia articles use formal English and are not written in internet posting style. 2. File storage areas. Please upload only files that are used or will be used in encyclopedia articles or project pages. Anything else will be deleted. If you have extra relevant images, consider uploading them to the Wikimedia Commons, where they can be linked from Wikipedia. 3. Dating services. Wikipedia is not an appropriate place to pursue relationships or sexual encounters. User pages that move beyond broad expressions of sexual orientation are unacceptable. However, you very well may form new friendships as you go about improving the encyclopedia. 4. Memorials. Subjects of encyclopedia articles must satisfy Wikipedia's notability requirements. Wikipedia is not the place to memorialize deceased friends, relatives, acquaintances, or others who do not meet such requirements. 5. Content for projects unrelated to Wikipedia. Do not store material unrelated to Wikipedia, including in user space. If you are interested in using the wiki technology for a collaborative effort on something else, even just a single page, many free and commercial sites provide wiki hosting. You can also install wiki software on your server. Your user page is not yours. It is a part of Wikipedia, and exists to make collaboration among Wikipedians easier, not for self-promotion.